Lise Poulsen Floris is a Danish freelance writer. She's currently based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Her articles have been published internationally in all kinds of notable newspapers and magazines, namely ABC Australia, the Global Times, Beijing KIDs, and Womanscape. She's a former EU worker turned writer whose global travels have helped her to find the big story in the little story. She shares some of her highlights in the new lifestyle that she has and the challenges of globetrotting and the writer's life. This is her story.
Welcome to Sipping on Stories, where we take you into the lives of diverse and unique change makers who turn anxiety, fear, and passion into powerful recipes for success. Good stories build insightful connections, but great stories, now that's something special. Today's story is one of those stories.
Welcome back. My name is Rose McInerney, and today we have another Sipping on Stories episode for you. I hope you are enjoying this series. I'm going to ask you to hit that subscribe button to Sipping on Stories and also to head over to our website, sippingonstories.com. You'll find all kinds of extra details and information, ways to reach out and contact some of the special features that the people that we feature here in our lounge. But also it's a chance for you to just relax and hear some of our past episodes. If you enjoy watching podcasts on YouTube, don't forget that we've got a YouTube channel. So head on over there and check us out, because it's a chance to see and put a face to our guests as well. A big thank you to our sponsor. That's Womanscape. They bring a living library of change makers to the world. They're a place for people to go and to relax and to be inspired by change makers, men and women that are doing positive things and bringing light to the world while advancing human progress. So thank you, Womanscape, for all of your inspiration and your sponsorship of this Sipping on Stories podcast. So today, I am excited to get into the lounge today. We are meeting with Lise Floris. She is a writer, so we are sipping on the writer's life. The writer's life for Lise is about traveling around the world. So today's episode is an interesting one because, well, I am sipping on coffee, and grudgingly so. I am happy for Lise because she is going to join us with a beautiful glass of wine. And I've just been waiting for something outside of tea and coffee. Quite frankly, I really have. And that's just the time zones. I believe that they're 12 hours ahead. So while she is going to bed and getting ready for bed, she's going to spend some time with us in the lounge while I'm just starting my day. A little bit about Lise that you need to know. We met in Beijing 4.5 years. She's been in Beijing for 4.5 years. We met, I think it's been almost a year when I was in China. I did about 3 weeks of travel there last fall in November. The middle of November, and it was a fascinating time, and I had a chance to sit down and meet Lise, so it was wonderful. Her storied life is something I think you're going to find fascinating today, so we'll see what you take away. And if you are a burgeoning writer, I think you also, there are some beautiful little nuggets of ways for you to consider how to start that journey if you haven't, and if you're already on it, it's always great to hear new stories. So without any further ado, we are going to head into the Sipping on Stories lounge, and we're going to say hello to Lise. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to welcome Lise Floris into the Sipping on Stories lounge. Lise, this is a long-awaited, very overdue conversation sitting down with you. How are you? Oh, thanks. It's so great to see you. Yeah, it's been a really long time. I want to tell our podcast listeners and our YouTubers that we met, it was more than a year ago? Was it or less than a year ago? It was last winter, fall? November? Yeah. And it was in Beijing. You had not moved. yet. And you were, I don't know if at that point you were preparing for your move, because I'm going to let you tell our listeners where you're coming from. So this is probably our most exotic place. We've been in Jakarta, we've been in Brisbane, Australia, but where are you coming from? Where are you right now, Lise? Ah, wonderful. Okay. Okay. Wow. It's a place that I've never been. It looks so exotic in pictures. What's your weather like? I know here in Connecticut, I'm in Connecticut, it raining like cats and dogs. Is it nice? You do. Right. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. It is a hot climate. Yes. Uh, no worries. For anyone watching on YouTube, I'm sitting under lights to make this all bright. And I find by the end of these interviews, I'm just sweating. So, no, I'm so excited. For so many reasons. So, Lise, you've come on board with Womanscape and writing articles and brought such a fresh global perspective to everything that you write about, that I can't wait to dig into some of the articles and have you share just your lifestyle as a writer and some of the things you're curious about. But before we get there, I know that always in our lounge, we like to sip on a little something while we exchange stories. And we had a quick little conversation offside. Can you please share what you're sipping today? Oh, oh, fantastic. Well, I am going to, yes. That is honestly, that's my favorite wine as well. I love a crisp Sauvignon Blanc. I was just saying to some of my team how tired I am of sipping tea and coffee. So I'm a little down about not having a glass of wine with you, but I am there in spirit. I'm drinking coffee because, it's morning here where I'm taping. So I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. So ch- cheers, cheers. Mm. So, and I chose a mug today that has Paris on it. And I did that on purpose because I think you were recently in Paris. Is that right? Yes. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, exciting, exciting. So you have three children. I know that you have moved quite a bit with family, and this is a new adventure for you. But I thought, this is a great opportunity for people to hear a little bit about maybe the emergence of your writing, because I did not know this. You started as an EU worker. You were working in some capacity unrelated to writing, right? Yeah. Oh, goodness. Okay. I see. Okay. Okay. On leave. Okay. I won't ask you if you have any plans to go back, because obviously things have changed dramatically, haven't they? With the EU. Yeah. Yeah. Is it another 4 years? Okay. So you were in Beijing when we met, and you lived there for about 4.5 years? Yeah. Okay. Okay. And that's quite an experience. What I was really impressed with was that you actually started learning the language and you really became very, yeah, ingrained in the culture as well and soaked that all up. What was that like? It must have been a little scary. Ah, okay. Yes. Right. Yes. Okay. As long as you can order a coffee and maybe some of the basic things in life, you're okay. Wow. Well, I'd love to jump into a little bit, in going through your feed. I mentioned that I really, as a writer, I love there's so much that writers express about themselves when that whatever it is that they bring to an article, whether it's perspective, a human compassion, a curiosity, the experiences you've had as a traveler. And I was really struck by one in particular about Qing Yang. I love this post. This is a post where you describe, and I've been through mainland China maybe a half a dozen times and been through Hong Kong probably 4 or 5 times as well, because I feel like those two were very, very different experiences. But you talk about, the security checks that you had to go through. And really, it was super interesting, that whole process. And I wondered if you could share a little bit with people. And this is just in terms of, I think, because in the world where, our ability to travel is going to be very restricted for the next little while. So I think your experience and about that was interesting. Can you kind of share your visit there? Yeah. Right. Foods. Okay. Province. Mm, yeah. Yes. Hmm. Yes. Okay. Hmm. Uh, okay. Okay. So is that why the security checks? Do you think it's just being very yes. Mhm. Yes. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Right. And because this is a side that I didn't see in China. I've loved my experiences there and I love the Chinese culture and people, and I don't know, they're smart and so industrious and beautiful, really beautiful experiences. So I know that I've read and heard a little bit. Did you have, do you say anything about you being a journalist? Is that a no-no? Yes. Okay. Okay. Everywhere. Okay. Yes. Right. Yes. For that. Okay. Well, and that's quite frankly, that's what I love about your writing. It's such a human perspective, and it's not looking for a big scoop. You have this beautiful saying in there about what it is that you look for in stories. And it's looking for, how do you put it? It's beautiful. Yeah, yeah. I think that's such a beautiful way to connect with each other today. And it's the reason probably that blogs and vlogs and all these outlets have done so well, that people are looking for real and grounded and trustworthy in that. So plus you talked about how fascinating the place was. It looked like Mongolia to me. There was just with the huts. I forget the name of the huts that they live in. Yurts. Okay. Yes. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Just a different way of life. Okay. And so different from your roots and where you started. So you're born in Denmark. Can you share? I mean, when did you hit the road? Was it before getting married? You know? Uh, okay. Okay. Oh, oh, fantastic. Okay, so lived in Rome. And then did you do any studying? Did you have an inkling for writing as well? I'm just wondering where the bug came from. Sure. Okay. Ah, right. Yes. Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. And that blog was 9 million bicycles. Is that right? Yeah. What a cool name. Where'd that come from? Oh, okay. Okay. I was thinking that 99 Luft balloons was the first thing that that yeah, that really dates me. But okay, so that's really great. I see this as a wonderful way for listeners to see that you just don't know where life is going to take you. The fact that you've gone through, you've lived in a number of different countries, 3 children, and now you have this, what I think is a burgeoning career in writing. I really do. I think you have a beautiful voice. How many languages do you speak? Yes. Yes. Of course. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, that's completely confusing for me. How'd you do that? Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So we're definitely very multi to the power of two for you for multi language. That's really wonderful because I think language itself too, the way that we express, and I know that you mentioned this in one of the blogs that I've read of yours that, especially in the Chinese language or Mandarin language, words, the nuances can be, you can really trip up, is what I'm getting to. You can say a word and really mess up, right? Yeah. Did you ever have that experience where you said something and Hmm. Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, I think I would really, really struggle. Having moved now from Beijing, if you look back at memories, I know you're going to have family memories, and but from a personal perspective, what are the top three things that you sort of took away? And it could be two, it could be five. You know. Mm, okay. Right. Questions and yeah. Right. Wow. Yeah. Mm. That's incredible. Having gone to some of the temples and just sort of stuck my head in, it's very restrictive for anyone really that's outside to be able to see what's truly happening or participate. Um, that's really interesting. And why go there? What was it about that drove you? I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm. Okay. Wow. You do. You do. Wow. She's beautiful. Mhm. Wow. How smart. That's really smart on that assistant's part because it looks like Kate is, doing the rounds there. Yeah. Ah. Uh, yes. Mm, yes. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 It's inspiring. That story was really inspiring because it's a bunch of women saying, we don't have to run a marathon. It's about the sisterhood of being together and doing it, as you say, for a larger purpose. It's helping. It's the money that was raised for that you put back into the community and support programs, didn't you? Yeah, yeah. No, it's very cool having and I'm going to assume you walk the Great Wall or some part of it. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Where you hop in. Yeah. 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 Yes. Yeah, and it's so different in each of the sections too. My experience there was really humbling because I remember my husband and I don't think we knew it was massive, but you can get to the wall from so many different entrance points, really. And wherever the guide took us for our first experience, we were so humble because, as you start to walk up within about 20 minutes, you're already winded if it's steep in that section. And I had little old women and men like jogging up the steps beside me. Um, Completely in amazing shape and making us feel like we were really old and out of shape. We were Westerners out of shape. But it is something to behold. And I know there's great stories around it with artists, Marina Abramovich, that have done really cool things. Um, but yeah, and what about some of the other things in China? Did you enjoy any of the movies? Are you a movie fan? Chinese movies, yeah. No, yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. No subtitles. No subtitles, I guess, anyway. Okay. I'm thinking of Parasite was a really, I don't know if you've seen that. Was a, oh, it's not, is it? Why did I think I thought I saw it lumped in with a Asian film festival. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. It is. It is. It's I know that you do have a favorite and one that I share, The Last Kingdom, that series. I think I saw that on your feed, one of your Instagram feeds. I am addicted. Addicted. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, is there another season? Okay. I know when I was training and doing my Kilimanjaro climb, that's what got me through it was Last Kingdom. So yeah. Okay, so those are all happy, great stuff. And even in your articles, I read some of your they weren't exposés, but you did one in particular that was about gay rights, I think, or you did an undercover story, and that one was an interesting one for you too. I think in terms of how much control but you really enjoyed the learning in that. Yes. Yeah. That was it. Mhm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Yes. Right. 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 Oh, okay. Because it was fascinating, and I love that all of your stories are really diverse. You seem to go with. Do you identify these ahead of time, or these assignments, or things that you were just, wow, this is really curious. I want to know. Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Ah, yeah. Yeah, but you're asking questions we're thinking. And that's interesting. I didn't know that about the masks. I know that having been to Abu Dhabi and, through Dubai, one thing I noticed is the beautiful shoes that women wear under their hijabs. Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous shoes. But um yeah. So things that were really difficult, or any memories in Beijing, and I don't want to, I guess I don't want to get stuck on Beijing. We can talk about, your life in terms of traveling, because I don't know how often you've been uprooted, but are there things in around there that, as a mother and a writer? Mm, yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh, mm-hmm. 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 Sure. Mm. Yeah. Family. True. Oh, nice, nice. I don't know. I felt that too. I think I'm Canadian born, and moving to the U.S. and being separate. I'm from a big family of 5 kids. My husband's one of 8. So this was huge for us, and staying connected. We've got devices now that allow us to do this. Did anyone ever come and visit you in Beijing? All the time. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Are the borders closed? Okay. Wow. Do you feel a little, I mean, I guess it's a brand new experience. It's a new landscape for you to explore as a person, as a mom, as a wife, as a writer. Do you have anything in the sort of in the works that you're doing that you're excited about there in Malaysia for you? Mm, Sure. Right. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Right. Yes. Right. Right. Yeah. What have you noticed about it that's so different? I know that's a massive question in terms of, but you just in hearing your words, environment, obviously the climate's not that different, really. It looks a lot more lush from pictures that I've seen. That there is tropics. Ah, okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Ah, okay. Oh, wonderful. Yes, to explore. Right. Yes. And are there a lot, is there a rich community of that you're finding there of, expats or people from Europe or from what's the, I see. Ah, okay. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, there's some great Danish books too. Yeah. Well, so that's really great. I mean, I'm excited for you, and I can't help but think, and I'm not pushing in this direction, but have you ever thought about writing a book? Like, this is a good time. Yeah. Right. Yes. Okay. Would need to capture. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, I think it's great. People are thinking now, especially during this time, about how they can reimagine their lives and, what's super, super important, what's left undone, what do we really want to do with our time? How do we want to spend it? So I think, and then my experience having moved around a little bit, nothing as exotic as you, is that there's just great communities out there of women that are global, that you can connect to. And friends of mine have, one or two of them have sold everything in their later years. They're older than I am, but they've sold everything. And one of them in particular just started house sitting around the world. Um, so it was kind of an interesting thing, and it was a way for her. She spoke Spanish. I think she had a little bit of Italian or something, and just English, and that was it. And she's traveled up until COVID. I'm sure things are shut down now for her, but she was in, 30 countries. 30 different countries just at a time, and really getting the grassroots experience of what that's like. And it sounds like you've learned how to do this very well. And that might be right. Mm-hmm. Yes. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Oh, great. I was going to say that. And I think we're all writers. If you take that word write, we can write a number of different ways. It doesn't have to be through the language that we assume right off. And that, to your point, that it's with an organized group, a newspaper, or anything. I think a writer is a writer is a writer. I really do too. Um, I'm fascinated by your stories. If people want to read more about those things that you're writing that aren't published on Womanscape, where can they go to see them? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No. No. Yes. Ah, amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Lise. Wonderful. Well, it's only going to get better, I think. Well, I know we've got just really exciting stuff happening on Womanscape, and the Sipping on Stories is really an opportunity to lift the stories up off the page and have these kinds of conversations that we're having now that are just a way for people to sip on, okay, what do I take away from that story? What is it that resonates with me? And I think the less we prescribe our expectations from it, and the more that we are just open about, what you said, I really loved it, finding the big story in the small stories for each of us. Our stories feel small, don't they? And yet I bet people are wowed by your lifestyle. And you probably think, oh, well, it's just me. You know. Sure. Mm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yes. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Got to be strong. Oh, yeah. So, you have to be prepared that when you pass yourself off as Kate Winslet, that you might be told no. But I think that's a good thought that, for people that are interested in writing, advice on where to start, because this journey is still relatively fresh for you, as it is for me. What advice have you had anyone come up and ask you, hey, I would like to do this, or mhm. Okay. Yes. Mm. Uh, right. So learning how to sell it, essentially. Which, yeah, to some extent, I guess that's what we grapple with. We want to balance somewhere in the curiosity of getting something that's real, but we also know it has to be saleable. And that sense, we relate to each other as human beings on some level that it's going to grab you. Um, well, honestly, your writing style grabs me. Your surely. Any before we go, are there things that you want to share with people? This is a great opportunity in terms of your experiences traveling, and I don't know. Do you have any life mantras? Are there things that you know? I know it's a big one. Mm. Oh, mm-hmm. Yes. Mm. It's That's perfect. Honestly, that's always our sign off to enjoy the last, to make every sip count. So this could not be a better sales pitch, I think, for people about how to live, yeah, a really good life. Mm-hmm. Love it. Okay, so we're going to take you up on that. And on the Sipping on Stories website, we do have a little follow up, and we'll include your email now that we've got your permission and your website. And that's great to know that you'll people can reach out and you're a resource for them. Um, so thank you, Lise. Ah, me too, me too. Oh, cheers, Lise. Th- Thank you. I look forward. I would love that. I would love that. Well, cheers. I hope you have a great evening as I start my day here. And thank you. Thanks again, Lise. Look forward to talking soon. Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye for now. Thanks. Bye. Wow, what a really interesting and different interview that was. Um, always on Sipping on Stories, we talk about people facing challenges and then how they come through it, particularly challenges that are dire. They can be a question of kind of the economy, something in life. You've lost your job, you've lost a loved one. There's something harrowing that turns your life upside down and you really sink down to the bottom. I don't know that we heard that today with Lise, um, but it doesn't make it any less of a beautiful story about transformation. Because I think at the heart of every story, we go to the movies for the same thing. There's a plot, there's a challenge, a conflict. Will the heroine or hero overcome that? And what I love about this interview with Lise is that she teaches us at the end of the day to enjoy what you do. And I think that's on her website. So we will share all of that. But find the good, find the fun. So no matter what is happening in your life, look for the bright spots. We all know that the way that we orient our brains, and not taking for granted the fact that we are alive, that we can take a breath even amidst confining situations or any kind of challenges that seem way too big to handle. There are always outlets. And I love, love, love this story because I don't think Lise expected that that she would take this foray into writing. And so writing is a form of expression. You may be that person that takes a lot of pictures and you post them on Instagram. Whether or not people like them doesn't matter. It's the act of sharing and creating and doing. So I do believe we're all writers. We all have a story to tell. And I look forward to sharing more of these great stories with you. And I hope you share your story with us. There's an open invitation if you are a burgeoning writer or someone that's even thought about it. Please reach out. You can always reach out to me through Sipping on Stories, but also reach out to Lise because her journey, I think, is an interesting one and she's open to chatting. So, takeaway today, I think you've already heard it. Make every sip count. Know that your life matters. It's going to matter even more if you hit that subscribe button for us. I would really love that. Give us a 5-star rating. And then that way you signal to people that we're worth listening to. If you like podcasts, please share this with others and head on over to our YouTube station as well and follow us. That would be really great. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to say have a great one. Enjoy life. Never feel like there isn't some way for you to express how you're feeling and to use that expression as a way to lift yourself up. We're counting on you. We're cheering you on. Make every sip a really great one. That's a wrap for today. We'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.